Hi you guys. I suck at YouTube. I'm just gonna admit it. I think I'm gonna be able to do videos, and you know what? I don't. I genuinely thought I was gonna be able to do so many more postpartum videos having Jaden and being at home more often, but the reality of it was I was exhausted, I was tired, and I looked like I got hit by a dumpster truck. Like, I was just not in the mood to do. Hopefully I can make this video super quick for you guys, informative. I'm gonna try to combine my postpartum must-haves and my baby must-haves, and I hope you guys find it beneficial. As usual, I'm gonna get nitty-gritty, so if you're a male, you might not want to watch the postpartum half or the first half, and if you're a daddy, you can watch the must-haves for babies. If you're a woman and you're not pregnant and you don't really want to know about the nitty-gritty girl stuff of postpartum, this might not be the video for you at all, or if you're looking for baby items, hopefully you'll like the second half of the video. It's probably going to be around 15 minutes, I'm sure, is when the baby half will come, so just skip forward onto that part if you're not interested in the postpartum must-haves. Yes, so postpartum is tough. I wish there was some videos out there that kind of prepared me for what I was going to be up against, because on social media you see all the moms having their babies and they're in thongs and in their 4 days postpartum and they look amazing, and it's like, oh, no big deal, no nothing. But let me be completely honest, you're gonna need diapers. Because after postpartum, you are going to bleed. You are going to bleed a lot. And I'm not just saying that to scare you, and it's not a bad thing. It's just your uterus and all of the lining of your uterus flushing out, and there's a ton of blood associated with it. Even if you have a C-section, you grew a baby for 9 months and you never had a period, and there is blood and there is tissue in your uterus that needs to come out. There's only one way for it to come out, and that is through your woohoo. At the hospital, they give you these underwear things and pads, and I just found that to be such a hassle to try to get on the underwear, situate the pad just right, and then pull it up. And they were also too big for me, so it was just stupid annoying. Like, I remember walking around in my room postpartum, and it was literally falling out. I looked like that Gerber baby where the dog's pulling on the underwear and her butt crack showing. That was me my whole entire postpartum and the day after I delivered. So you can get these diapers, they're called the Depends, super comfortable, way efficient. You wear them overnight, especially where you're bleeding the most, and then you just toss them in the morning. You can get them at Target, you can get them at Walmart, I'm pretty sure you can probably get them on Amazon, but I highly suggest getting diapers. It makes your life so much easier. Not that bleeding's like a terrible thing, it just can be really annoying. If you're going to go out in public, I obviously didn't wear diapers, I just got the really thick pads, menstrual pads that are good, and then I would lower the pads towards the end of like my 2 weeks where I wasn't bleeding as much. So you go thick at the beginning, medium, and light. By 3 weeks I was almost completely done bleeding. Some women bleed longer, some women don't. If you are getting back into exercise and you start bleeding, that's kind of your body's way of telling you you're doing too much too soon. Our bodies are brilliant that way, they're smart, so your bleeding can kind of tell you where you are at. But diapers, this is like the #1 item, postpartum, right away. Also, postpartum, if you're breastfeeding, or even if not you're breastfeeding, your boobs are going to be like 100% of the focus. For me, I breastfed, so that was really important to me. Whether you breastfeed or not, it doesn't make any difference if you're mama. I just want to make that clear right away, that is best. But my boobs, you guys, were massive. If you knew me pre-pregnancy, I had itty-bitty little committee boobs. When I got pregnant and my milk came in, I was bigger than a double D. They were literally up to my chest when my milk came in, and I was miserable. It hurt so bad. It felt like boils that needed to pop, but they wouldn't pop. I had a way oversupply, and I was so afraid to pump because I didn't want to increase my oversupply. So, I gotta sort through all my stuff right here. There's 2 things I completely suggest. One, the Nature Bond or HAVES. So what I did when I was finally realized that I was in so much pain and expressing just wasn't enough, I would put the HAVES on while I was nursing, and all the milk from my letdown was able to save. I had like 200 ounces saved up, and I was able to save like 80 ounces my first 2 weeks just from the HAVES. There's 2 brands. The HAVES, I have the Nature Bond, and I love it. I still use it, and I still catch some of the milk on my letdown. Wonderful. And this also took the engorgement out and made my life more livable, because if you breastfed and you know the engorgement those first few days when your milk comes in, it literally, you can't sleep, you can't put your arms together, you can't lay down because it hurts. With that being said, when your milk comes in, you are going to leak. Like, I remember we would go out to a restaurant and I would literally hear Jaden cry or think about Jaden or looking, and I would literally have like splots of milk coming out, and it would like just expand and get bigger. Even with pads. So you're going to want to get pads to put into your bras when you are milking those first few weeks and your milk hasn't, like your supply hasn't adjusted. I am all over the place with my words. I apologize, and I'm probably not going to edit it because, you know what, real life. Yeah, so pads. I personally like the Dr. Brown's ones. Some of them get really like gross feeling and thick, and it's just not comfortable. So like the Dr. Brown's has this antimicrobial one, so it helps like bacteria, because I haven't had mastitis, knock on wood, just because of that, and I was afraid of like bacteria because sweating and milk and all that. Sometimes the pads can get pretty disgusting. I have disposable ones, and I've had ones that are washable. Honestly, I like both. Disposable ones are a little bit more flimsy, so they're not going to catch as much milk. So that was awesome. And then there's also these milk catcher things. I don't have them up here with me. But there's these milk catcher things that you can put in your bra. They were great, but I actually hated them. 2 reasons. One, I'd forget them, and if I would bend over, all the milk would just come flying out, and then there was no point saving it, and then I was soaked. So I am more for the pads, and then the milk catcher savers, kind of a hit or miss. If you are good at remembering, you can put them in your bras, and it'll catch the milk. If not, go with the pads, let them soak, and you're good. So you're going to want pads. Dr. Brown's is good. Honestly, Amazon, what's it called? It starts with a B. I have no idea, I'll link it. But there's tons of different pads out there. Honestly, I just like the Dr. Brown's ones. They were nice. They were, when I stuck them in my shirts, you really couldn't tell with them either. Yeah, good stuff. Also, postpartum, you are going to want, if you're pumping, this isn't like a must-have, but I found it so beneficial, a nursing bra. I got this at Target, honestly, and it's amazing. So you stick your... This is the Lana saw too, and I have a size extra small to large, so it fits pretty much everyone, and it's adjustable in the straps, and it's Velcro, and it zips up in the front. You stick your things in here, and it literally, you don't have to hold them. Because I remember holding like holding the pumps here forever, and I would get so tired with my arms that it was just not conducive to my day. So get a nursing bra to put your pumping pads in. Another alternative you can do, if you don't want to buy the nursing bra, you can do a sports bra, cut holes in it, and then stick your pump in it. I also have the Spectra pump, and I love it. It's great. For those wondering what kind of pump I have. What else postpartum? Nursing bras. So you're going to want, obviously, nursing bras. I'll link everything in the box below, you guys, so don't worry. So obviously, I have sport nursing bras. Love and Fit has them, Babo Maternity has them, Sanita has great sporting bras. I'll link them all, you guys. But honestly, I actually don't really like nursing bras that much, or nursing tanks, because they're a hassle, one, to like unhook, and then when you lower it down, like your baby gets like caught with it, and it's really hard for him to latch sometimes if it's coming up. And when you're in public, you're trying to be working it out. And so I honestly love just like really comfortable tank tops that you can get from Target. This one's Babo Maternity. These are a lifesaver because literally all you do is pull it up over your boob and you're able to nurse. So that's been my go-to. I know a lot of women really love the nursing bras and tanks, and I wear them, but if I'm in the car or whatever, I literally always just lift it up rather than unclipping it and pulling it down. For me, that is just so much easier. Literally, go to Target, just get little tanky sports bras that are really comfortable, especially at nighttime, because nighttime it's a hassle to try to get it unclipped in the dark or whatever. And honestly, I just sleep topless now, and I put like a little pad on my bed even if I leak. It makes it so much easier trying to feed your baby on demand and not having to worry about like straps and clips and all those things. If I'm leaking really bad that day, because sometimes I'm inconsistent, I'll just put a little tank top like this on, or even a t-shirt, and my t-shirts get soaked. It's just how it is. So if I were to pick one, it would be this one. Just because you can just lift it up so much easier, and your baby has better access to the boob. Because we all know when your baby's really wanting to be hungry, they latch out and they look like ravenous creatures. Like they move their head and then I think it's the cutest, most wonderful, most joyous thing when Jaden is extremely hungry and he's trying to find my nipple, and he's literally shaking his head trying to find it, and then he just chomps. And this is probably my favorite. So And then finally, for me personally, I like to cover up, especially in the beginning, I like to cover up. I will link where I got this, and this is a multi-purpose one. So this can go over my car seat, which has been a must-have. This is a must-have baby item as well, because when you're out in public, one, you don't really want people coming up close to your baby, so this kind of just goes over the entire car seat, keeps things enclosed. It was really beneficial for us to make Jaden go to sleep, because he was so alert and would look around and would not go to sleep even if he was exhausted. So taking off his vision was amazing. And then also this just kind of goes over your head for nursing, and it's honestly, I hate it, but I love it at the same time, especially because when you're new to nursing, it can be challenging, especially when you're in public and you're trying to get your baby latched. This was nice because I would just put it over my head, and I honestly, like, would put it over my head like a teepee, and then I would nurse. Like, my dad thought it was the funniest thing, because I would go hiding in my the cover and trying to figure out how to get him latched. Then I'd pull it down and he'd be there. Now I'm pretty good at it where I can just pull my shirt and keep everything modest. Whether you just pull it out or not, you go. Nursing in public needs to be a beautiful thing, and if people have an issue with it, that's on them, not you. Feed your baby. But yeah, if you like to cover up, this is a really, really good one. I think this is from Blossom's Boutique, and I got it for like $5, you guys. They had a sale, and it was great. Okay, I think those are like my must-have postpartum ones, just for the nitty-gritty stuff. Obviously for postpartum, oh, I can't believe I forgot this. See, I'm all over the place. You know how I do YouTube. I don't really, this is like my bag of ish stuff that I have for you guys. But, where is it? Oh, it's over here. God, I'm an idiot. Okay, so, this is a must-have. Collagen, postpartum, even pregnancy, and even now, collagen. So, when you are postpartum, there is lots of things that stretched, there's maybe things that ripped, there is fascia that got really expanded, you damaged some of your tissue. That's inevitable. It's pregnancy, it's birth, whatever. So collagen is the amino acid makeup of skin, hair, tissue, nails, joints, etc. So when those are damaged, they need some aid. So I highly recommend doing a collagen supplement. Vital Proteins is my favorite because they source animals from New Zealand and are really just more humane, if that's a thing, if humane animals. I know that's a huge argument with people, but for me personally, this is the only company I trust, their ethics, and it's straight collagen, nothing else added, unless it's like one of their beauty supplements that has hyaluronic acid to help with your skin, hair, and nail joints. But postpartum, supplementing with collagen, and you can even make bone broth. So I made bone broth and then added a little bit more collagen just to help regenerate some of that tissue that's been damaged, and it will help with recovery immensely. I still take this daily. I took it in pregnancy daily. It was the only supplement I was cleared to take by my doctor, and it's the only supplement currently that I'm taking postpartum and breastfeeding. Just super, super important to help those connective tissues that have gone through a lot of trauma, especially your linea alba connective tissue that stretches and gets pulled apart during pregnancy. So, highly recommend doing doing a collagen supplement. I'll also link that as well. So those are my postpartum must-haves. I try to keep it simple because when you're postpartum, you're literally at home most of the time. My postpartum must-have now is collagen and obviously nursing stuff, as I'm nursing in public and at the gym sometimes. So those are the sports bras, and I'll link everything for you guys. So now my baby must-haves. So it took me a little bit longer. I thought I would do a 1 month one, but honestly my stuff has kind of changed from 1 month to now, so I'll be able to tell you what I used a lot in the 1 month and what I utilize now. So I'll start off with carriers. So weeks 1 through 6 can be pretty tough with getting your baby to nap and being inconsistent and them just crying and not wanting to be put down, which is like the most beautiful thing, but it can be really tolling and frustrating on you if you can't get them to sleep. Carriers, body carriers were awesome for me. So I have 2 that I really, really like. I like the Catan. The Catan was my first one that I got, and it was really easy to use for me personally. I just Googled their videos on their website, and they teach you how to do it. Almost always it would make Jaden fall asleep, and it's also like that skin to skin, and it's super good for their neurodevelopment and their security. So if you really like that attachment development in a healthy way, it's completely healthy, it helps their neurological growth, it's a beautiful thing. I believe you can't spoil a newborn with affection, love, and all of that good stuff. So the Catan was absolutely amazing. And then the only thing negative about the Catan is it's not very cute. And sometimes, like, as moms, we want to be fashionable and look kind of cute. So I found this other one, and I actually really like this one a lot better. It's called the Sling. It's from, I just don't want to screw it up because I have like dyslexia type stuff. The Wild Bird, I think it's Wild Bird. Where's it at? Wild Bird, Go Bird. Hold on. Wild Bird. Ha! Yeah, so it's the Wild Bird, and they have different brands. It's a sling, and I love it. There's different ways you can carry your baby, and it's really cute. So you can just go out in public and feel a little fashionable while carrying your baby. So get a baby carrier, they're really good. I also have the Ergo 360, but honestly I haven't even touched it. I really like the Slings because they're lighter weight, they're not hot, because I get really hot with baby and me, we can get hot, so these were much lighter weight as the Ergo 360. My sister has it and just said it can get pretty hot, even with the breathable ones. So yes. My second thing must have is blankets that stretch. So me and my husband sucked at swaddling in the beginning. Like, we were like, oh yeah, we're ready to go home. You know, the nurses helped us swaddle all the time, and we were still learning. So when we got home that first night, and we were like, when we put our baby down to bed and he woke up in the middle of the night and we had to re-swaddle him, it literally took us like 15 minutes because we were trying to swaddle and keep him to sleep, and it was a disaster. And we were using the big bulky blankets like the muslin, and terrible. It was so hard. So then I discovered that there's blankets that like stretch, and then you can make them tighter, because Jaden would finagle his way out and ninja his way out, and then he'd be up because of the reflux, and it woke him up every single time. So we found blankets that stretched. And these are also good just to have like when you're out in public, putting them over them, when you're nursing and laying down. Hands down my favorite blankets, the ones that stretch. You can swaddle them tight. Oh, I'll be right back. Baby's crying. And then you guys can see it. But blankets that stretch for swaddling, all of the other stuff. Here we go. Daddy beat me to it. So here, blankets that stretch are amazing for swaddling, putting them on when they're sleeping, laying them down, tummy time. So I will link these as well. This one, I believe, I have no idea which this one is. You know when like Instagram ads come up when you're scrolling and you see all that stuff? I literally bought so many baby items from that. That was crazy. Copper Pearl. Oh, Copper Pearl. I have like 5 of Copper Pearls, and they're a really good brand. So yes, stretchy blankets. Next is burp class. I honestly put burp class on my registry, and I had like 5 sets, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to need that many burp class. I'll just wash them and whatever. No. Keep the birth class. You want as many birth class as you can, especially now that Jaden is like 9 weeks and he's discovered saliva. He is spitting up and like blowing kind of bubbles, and there's just tons of spit. Get the burp class. They are a lifesaver. You can also lay them down in their crib because they're going to spit up. It's going to throw up. They're a must-have. This one's Hitty Stars, and they're probably my favorite because they're just really comfortable and soft and padded, and they absorb well. They're my favorite. So, all the burp class. All of them. Get as many as you can. You cannot have too much. They're just really nice to have. So, that's a baby must-have. And I never would have assumed that I would want burp class, but they're amazing. So, then, the Snuggle Me. So, the first 4 weeks during day, this is like really the only thing that Jaden would sleep in, and it was amazing. It kind of like hugs them and makes them feel like they're in the womb. Hands down, the Snuggle Me is a phenomenal tool to have, especially when it's mobile. So if you're downstairs or upstairs, you can put them in it and have them there, especially when they're sleeping on and off throughout the day. We have a bassinet that I'll show you guys after this, or later on in the video, that we put them in at nighttime almost every single time because it's amazing now that we figured it out. But the Snuggle Me is another must-have, and it's so like comfort, and it's organic, and they're just a really overall beautiful company. They also, like, it comes with covers, so if your baby does spit up on it, like, you can wash them, you can clean them. Yeah, and we traveled with this guy, so like when I go to my family or we're going like 45 minutes away staying in a hotel or whatever, we've taken this guy. That's for sure. So white noise is a must-have. especially for Jaden. He really likes loud noises. He falls asleep much better with it. I used to blow a hairdryer because it would instantaneously make him fall asleep a lot quicker than just a normal white noise on our phones that we started with. So we started with our phones using white noise. Didn't really work. Then I bought a white noise machine, which I still use. But then I was told to actually use a hairdryer, and I used the hairdryer, and it would like make them fall asleep instantaneously. So if your baby is unconsolable, sit down, put a hairdryer next to you, and it'll really help calm them, and then you can kind of feed them and get them more reasonable. And then I was recommended the shusher, and if you can hear it, because as mamas, you're always going shh, shh, you know, and it does it for you, and it's actually a little bit louder, and it's amazing. So we take this with us everywhere. So when we go to restaurants, when we're in the car, even when we go to bed and at nighttime, which I'm immune to white noise by now, like I just don't hear it. This is amazing. So the shusher is amazing. I got this at Bye Bye Baby. And it's like 30 bucks, but it's the best 30 bucks you will ever spend. So we play this actually on top of our white noise machine at nighttime because it only plays for 30 minutes. So we'll play it when Jaden's falling asleep, and then it'll go off and our white noise machine will be on in the background. Because sometimes it's too silent. You would think babies need quiet, but sometimes too quiet of an environment actually wakes them up. And it happens to Jaden all the time when we thought, oh, it needs to be quiet, we need to whisper. Lo and behold, we needed more noise in the room. So, and then finally, actually, two more things. Pacifier. Whether you like pacifiers or not, we didn't introduce a pacifier or a bottle until Jaden was about 5 weeks. As I want him to be able to take a pacifier from a babysitter or my mom or something when we go out and have date night, or have a babysitter when he's older. That's really important, because if we went out and a babysitter can't feed my kid, that'd be so unfair for both Jaden and the babysitter. So this is the only pacifier he would take. This is it. It's the Wananub. I'm terrible. It's the Wubbanub, and it's amazing. And you know what? It's so cute. He hugs the little bear and pushes it in his mouth and trying to figure it out already. And so my hopes are when I wean him off, you know, when he's a little bit older, I think around 7 months, I'm going to start kind of weaning him off. I can just cut the passy off, and he'll still have the attachment with the dog, and that will be his little little pal, his little attachment thing to go self-soothe when we transfer him to the crib, which I have no idea what we're going to do yet, because he sleeps next to us and I'm attached to that. It makes me feel so much more peace at nighttime. And then also, I feed Jaden baby probiotics, as the bacteria that transfers from our vagina to them is sometimes non-existent in many of us moms because of antibiotics or just whatever. So I'm building up his gut flora with baby probiotics. Evivo's been amazing. I don't have any sensitivities with him, so I can eat dairy and everything, and he does not have any issues, and I honestly really contributed to my gut health, and then this baby gut health. It is expensive. That's kind of like the downside of it, but I'm willing to fork out this money for him to have a really healthy gut, because that's going to carry with him the rest of his life. So those are my must-haves baby have. And then I'm going to show you guys the bassinet he sleeps in, because it's actually been a lifesaver now. As you guys know, I really was afraid of sleep before pregnancy, and during pregnancy I really worried about it being a mom, and somehow you just adapt. You become a mom and it doesn't really bug you, but sleep is still important to feel rested, to feel alive, and so you're not sleep deprived. So I'm going to show you guys the bassinet that we have, and it's called the Snoo. It's considered the smartest baby bassinet there is. So this is the Snoo. We have this little guy up here because babies sleep better when their knees are up a little bit. It's 4 inches. It's just a towel. And then obviously when he spits up, so we don't have as much laundry. And so what's really cool about it is it has, there's this Patsy. It has a built-in swaddle. So Jaden was rolling over at 4 days old, and this is a built-in swaddle in the Snoo, so he can't roll over. And this is the only downside of this is it was really big on him when we first got it. So what it does is it rocks back and forth, as you can see, and then it speeds up in alliance with the baby's noise at nighttime, and it just helps him fall asleep. I'm with him the majority of the time, so it's right next to my bed, as you can see, And most of the time I'll pick him up as soon as he starts crying, just because I don't let him go all the way to the red. But if you listen, the white noise is picking up. So it's supposed to remind them that they're in the womb. And then the last setting, this is when it's really trying to console them, and then it's connected to your phone on an app, and it'll say your child needs you, as obviously they can't rock them back to sleep. I know this is like, whoa! I posted that on my Instagram, and honestly it got, I can't even see my face, jeez Louise. Honestly, it got a lot of hate, and however you want to parent, that is beautiful. Oh yeah, we can do that too.
That's not a must-have though.
No, it's really, yeah, it's not. You wanna bring him in and show up? Because I need to talk about the swaddle he's in. So the Snoo is a must-have for us now. We didn't utilize the motion on the Snoo until about 4 weeks because we thought Jaden didn't like it. He wasn't sleeping well with it. But just the bassinet itself with the strap-in was like the most peace I could have at night, so I knew he wasn't rolling over, and I knew there was no suffocation, as the whole entire thing is breathable. So it's just a really safe bassinet. It was actually built by a doctor who was really sick and tired of having babies he cared for die because of either parents rolling over them or SIDS, and so he designed a crib that was incredibly safe and would help moms out, because in my opinion, it takes a village to raise a child. And back in the olden days, when a woman had a child, she had her mom, she had her sisters, she had her aunts, she had her uncles. They all chipped in to raise a kid. And as parents, it can be extremely taxing on both of us to get up in the middle of the night and have sleep deprivation. And that's when bad things can happen. So all the Snoo does is, he's next to Jaden, it rocks him back and forth with the motion. If he's stirring, I'll just simply raise like the fastness of it, and it typically puts him back to sleep. Sometimes it doesn't, and I pick him right away, I rock him, I feed him, I take care of him, and I put him back down. So I really want to make it known that the Snoo doesn't rock my kid back to sleep when he's screaming and crying and is parenting. The Snoo's not a parent. I'm his parent, and I take care of him. It just simply helps keep them asleep longer as they're transitioning in their sleep cycles. That's really all it does, because babies don't know how to fall back asleep on their own yet. They don't know how to self-soothe. And so when you put them in there when they're newborns, that rocking just helps to transition them into the sleep cycles. Personally, we have found so much relief in the Snoo. He's now sleeping 5-hour stretches for the most part. I mean, there's nights where I'm up every hour feeding him and coddling him and holding him, trying to get him back to sleep, and that's just part of mummyhood. But it just helps you out a little bit so you're not as sleep deprived. What else about the Snoo? So it has the built-in swaddle. You can wash it, the different levels with the white noise. It goes right next to your bed. They have these little foot things that you can elevate it just a teeny bit if your doctor recommends you to have it elevated for acid reflux or, you know, for spit ups. It's really nice. It is, on the downside, it is incredibly expensive. If you calculate, it's like $8 a day for 6 months, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that much, but again, money is still a fine subject, and it's something we were willing to invest in just because it's really helped our sleep, and it's helped Jaden fall asleep. I try to put him in there in naps once or twice a day because we're on a sleep routine. So by 7 o'clock we try to put him in bed almost every single night. During naps I try to get him in there one day a nap. And the awesome thing about the Snoo is it has a weaning feature, so when you transition him into the crib, he's not reliant on the rocking. So what it does is once they hit like close to the 6-month mark, there's an option on the Snoo that weans him off the rocking. So that's really, really cool. So I'm not really worried about it. Even if he is immune to rocking, I have no problem rocking my baby to sleep and putting him in bed. Again, we all parent so different, and something I've really struggled with is the judgment that motherhood has. Like, it's been so shocking. I get yelled at for swaddling. I get yelled at for holding my baby too long when putting him to sleep. I get yelled at for spoiling. I even got yelled at for having my mother-in-law watch him an hour when he was napping so I could go have some me time. So you know what? It's kind of sad. As being a mom already is hard enough, I think we should be supportive and celebrating what works for you may not work for me, and what works for me may not work for you, but at the same time we're figuring it out and we're raising our kids to be the best they can be. And as long as we are loving our kids the most we can and giving them the care they need, I don't know why we're mom shaming. I just don't understand it. Like, I don't know. I'm more for empowering women and empowering mothers that you're doing an awesome job and we got this and we're going to raise great kids because we love our kids and we will love and parent differently. So please, if you have negative things to say about the Snoo or negative things to say about any of the baby items, just keep them to yourself. There's no harm in having a difference of opinion and keeping them to yourself. You don't need to use the items I had, or you can use the items I had. It's just personally what I've had and that works for me, and if you want them, great. If you don't want them, great. Do what works for you. Do what is really helpful. And there's one last baby item that I forgot to mention. My hubby has Jaden. It's the swaddle. So all swaddles Jaden has been able to ninja out of. I've tried them all, and this is the only one that's worked, and it's really easy to do. It's called the Ollie. Babe, do you want to bring him in here real quick? He's really fussy. You just want mama, huh? So it's the Ollie and it's Velcro, and we're trying to get him down. So our sleep routine with Jaden right now is we turn on the white noise, we swaddle him, we rock him, we get him where he needs to be, and this is really terrible. What's wrong? Yeah, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Hi, Soda. Okay, hold on, I'll be back. He was hungry. So anyways, the Ollie, where'd it go? I'm a mess. Motherhood, I'm just a chaotic mess. Now I know why everyone is late that has kids, unless you are superhuman. So this is the Ollie. I'll link it again. It's Velcro, so really all you do, and it grows with them. It's one size, and it just wraps around them. You can make it as tight as you want, as loose as you want. You can put one arm in it, you can put both arms in it, and it's my favorite swaddle thus far. And it's stretchy, and it's warm, and it's comfortable, and they're just a really great company. They actually reached out to me when I got a lot of hate for swaddling, and it was just, I like to support companies that are there for you. And this is not sponsored, by the way, by any means. None of this stuff is sponsored by any way, but this is just a cool company that I've really enjoyed supporting. And you guys probably haven't actually seen him. So he is 9 weeks old. Say hi, Jaden. Say hi. And he's the most serious baby, and then he'll crack smiles. It's the cutest thing. But growing so fast and so strong, and it's just such a joy to be a mom. Like, I have never been happier in my whole entire life, and it's just been the most humbling, incredible journey thus far. So I hope you guys enjoyed my rambling as usual. And my baby items, I tried to make it as quick as possible, straight to the point, but as always, I never do. It's just how it is. But I will be getting more workup videos up soon, because I know most of you are here for the fitness. So stay tuned for that, and my next video will most likely be a home workout or a workout with this little man. So thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time. Say bye. Bye. This is the Ollie swaddle. Oh, Soto, come on, man. Rude. Sit. No, back off. No, go. Sit. Sit. So sit. Good boy. Stay. No, sit. Stay. Oh, you're pushing it. You're pushing it, bro. So, no!